As a doctor, I've seen countless seniors walk into my office confused, frightened, and asking the same heartbreaking question. Doctor, why did this happen to me? They're talking about strokes that seem to come out of nowhere. No warning signs, no chest pain, no obvious red flags, just a normal evening that turned into a medical emergency. But here's what shocked me most during my years of practice. Many of these patients had one thing in common. They all enjoyed what they thought was a perfectly healthy bedtime snack. Yet this innocent habit was quietly setting the stage for disaster while they slept. Today, I want to share something with you that most medical professionals won't discuss. There's a specific type of nut that millions of seniors consume before bed, thinking they're doing something good for their bodies. But the truth is, this seemingly harmless snack can dramatically increase your stroke risk during the most vulnerable hours of the night. Here's what most people don't understand about how our bodies work after 60. During the day, our metabolism runs efficiently, processing fats and managing blood flow with remarkable precision. But at night, everything slows down. Our digestive system shifts into a different gear, our blood circulation changes, and our body's ability to handle certain nutrients becomes dramatically different. When you eat specific types of nuts before bed, especially those high in particular fats and compounds, you're essentially asking your aging cardiovascular system to work overtime during its rest period. Your blood becomes thicker, your vessels work harder, and the delicate balance that keeps your brain protected starts to tip toward danger. The research on this is absolutely staggering. Studies published in leading cardiology journals have shown that consuming high-fat nuts within 3 hours of bedtime can increase nocturnal blood pressure by up to 15% in adults over 60. That might not sound like much, but when you're talking about the tiny vessels in your brain, even small increases in pressure can have catastrophic consequences. But it's not just about blood pressure. Certain nuts contain compounds that affect your body's inflammatory response, particularly during sleep when your immune system is supposed to be in repair mode. Instead of healing, your blood vessels become irritated and reactive, creating the perfect conditions for clot formation. I want to be crystal clear about something. Nuts aren't inherently dangerous. In fact, when eaten at the right times and in proper portions, they can be incredibly beneficial for heart and brain health. The problem isn't the nuts themselves, it's the timing, the type, and the way our aging bodies process them during nighttime hours. Think about it this way. Your cardiovascular system is like a busy highway. During the day, traffic flows smoothly, even when it's heavy, because all the systems are working at full capacity. But at night, that highway is supposed to have light, easy traffic. When you flood it with the wrong kind of nutrients at bedtime, you create congestion, backups, and dangerous conditions that can lead to accidents. Over the years, I've identified 5 specific nuts that pose the greatest risk when consumed before bedtime by seniors. Each one affects your body differently, but they all share common pathways that can lead to increased stroke risk during sleep. Some spike your blood pressure, others thicken your blood, and a few actually interfere with your body's natural nighttime repair mechanisms. What makes this even more concerning is that many of these nuts are marketed as health foods. You'll see them in trail mixes labeled as heart healthy, or recommended by well-meaning friends who've heard they're good for cholesterol. The marketing isn't wrong, but it's incomplete. It doesn't account for timing, age-related changes in metabolism, or the unique vulnerability of our brains during sleep. What I've learned from treating hundreds of stroke patients is that prevention isn't just about avoiding obviously harmful foods. It's about understanding how even healthy foods can become risky under certain circumstances. It's about recognizing that our aging bodies have different needs, different vulnerabilities, and different responses to the same foods we've been eating for decades. The good news is that once you understand these risks, they're completely preventable. You don't have to give up nuts entirely. You don't need to fear every snack or second guess every food choice. You just need to know which nuts to avoid at bedtime, which ones are safer, and how to enjoy them in ways that support your health rather than undermining it. In the next part of our discussion, I'm going to reveal the 5 specific nuts that pose the greatest bedtime stroke risk for seniors. I'll explain exactly how each one affects your body during sleep, share real patient stories, and most importantly, give you practical alternatives that will satisfy your evening cravings without putting your brain at risk. The first nut that should raise immediate red flags for seniors is the humble cashew. I know what you're thinking. Cashews seem so innocent, so creamy and mild. But here's what makes them particularly dangerous when consumed before bedtime. Cashews are incredibly dense in calories and saturated fats, packing over 200 calories in just a small handful. More concerning is their unique fat profile that becomes problematic during nighttime metabolism. When you eat cashews before bed, your body struggles to process these concentrated fats, while your metabolism is naturally slowing down for sleep. This creates what I call a metabolic traffic jam. Your blood becomes laden with lipids that should be cleared during active daytime hours, but instead, they're circulating through your system when blood flow is already reduced. The result is thicker, more viscous blood that moves sluggishly through your vessels, especially the delicate capillaries that feed your brain. Moving on to our second culprit, Brazil nuts present a different but equally serious threat. These large, rich nuts contain extraordinarily high levels of selenium, a mineral that's essential in small amounts but becomes toxic when consumed regularly before sleep. Just 3 Brazil nuts contain more selenium than your body needs for an entire week. But the real danger lies in how selenium affects your cardiovascular system during nighttime hours. Excess selenium can trigger what's called oxidative stress in your blood vessels, particularly when your body's natural antioxidant systems are in their nighttime recovery mode. This oxidative damage makes your arterial walls more prone to inflammation and plaque formation. Over time, this creates unstable deposits that can rupture suddenly, sending clots directly to your brain. The third nut on our danger list might surprise you even more. Macadamia nuts, often considered the premium choice due to their rich, buttery flavor, contain the highest fat content of any tree nut. While these fats can be beneficial when consumed during active daytime hours, they become problematic when eaten before sleep, particularly for seniors whose fat metabolism has naturally slowed with age. Macadamia nuts are nearly 80% fat, and when consumed before bedtime, they can cause what researchers call postprandial hyperlipidemia, a condition where blood fat levels spike dramatically after eating. During sleep, when your body should be in repair mode, these elevated fat levels interfere with normal blood flow and increase the risk of clot formation in cerebral arteries. Our fourth dangerous bedtime nut is the pecan, beloved for its sweet, rich flavor, but problematic due to its combination of high saturated fat and caloric density. Pecans pack more than 200 calories per ounce, with a fat profile that becomes particularly troublesome during the metabolic slowdown of sleep. But there's another factor that makes pecans especially risky for seniors. Pecans contain compounds called tannins, which can interfere with iron absorption and affect red blood cell function when consumed in large quantities before bed. This can lead to subtle changes in oxygen carrying capacity just when your brain needs optimal oxygenation during sleep's restorative processes. The combination of impaired oxygen delivery and sluggish blood flow creates conditions ripe for stroke risk. The fifth and perhaps most shocking nut on our list is the pine nut. These tiny, expensive nuts are often added to salads and pasta dishes, and many seniors enjoy them as a sophisticated bedtime snack. But pine nuts contain unusually high levels of pinolenic acid, a fatty acid that can trigger inflammatory responses in aging blood vessels, particularly during the overnight fasting period. Pine nuts also contain compounds that can affect blood pressure regulation during sleep. When consumed before bedtime, they can cause subtle but significant fluctuations in nocturnal blood pressure, creating periods of instability that strain the delicate vessels supplying your brain. This is especially dangerous because these pressure changes often occur without symptoms, making them silent risk factors for stroke. Now, I want to be absolutely clear about something crucial. This isn't about creating fear around all nuts or suggesting you avoid them completely. Nuts can be incredibly beneficial for brain and heart health when consumed at appropriate times and in proper portions. The key is understanding that timing matters enormously, especially as we age and our metabolism changes. The solution isn't elimination, it's education and adjustment. If you love nuts and want to continue enjoying them safely, the answer is simple. Move your nut consumption to earlier in the day. Have them with breakfast, as a mid-morning snack, or with lunch when your metabolism is active and can properly process their rich nutrient content. For evening satisfaction without the stroke risk, consider alternatives like a small piece of fruit, herbal tea, or a few whole grain crackers. These options will satisfy your desire for a bedtime snack without placing your cardiovascular system under stress during its most vulnerable recovery period. Your health is precious, and small changes in timing can make enormous differences in outcomes. By simply shifting when you enjoy these nutritious but timing-sensitive foods, you can continue reaping their benefits while protecting your brain from unnecessary risks. If this information has opened your eyes to hidden dangers in your evening routine, please share this video with family and friends who might benefit from this knowledge. Drop a comment below about which nuts you've been eating before bed. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more life-saving health insights that put your well-being first. Remember, knowledge is your most powerful tool for prevention. Stay informed, stay safe, and keep making choices that honor the remarkable body that's carried you this far in life.